In today's fast-changing world, organizations need to be able to respond quickly. But it's not all about speed. We need innovative, creative, and effective responses to business change. In other words, agility is more important now than ever. Unfortunately, so-called agile methods have not done much to help organizations to achieve agility. This is because agility mostly arises from how leaders lead. It is behavioral. In our examination, we found that the most agile companies possess common leadership behaviors. But we found no common agile frameworks, processes, or practices. The only common threads were behavioral, driven primarily by the behaviors of leaders. That means that to be able to respond quickly to change, you must change the behavior of the leaders at all levels of your organization. We have an effective way to do that. It is a developmental learning system that has built-in measurement of behavior and actual agility. It is based on established research, not someone's agile framework. It will drastically improve how your leaders operate. And the system includes role-play sessions in which people apply what they have learned, which is really important for helping people to translate what they learn into actual behavioral patterns. But learning is incomplete without assessment. The system includes a pair of dashboards that provide a real-time view of progress, behaviorally. It is based on both leading and trailing indicators of actual agility. I'd like to introduce our founder Cliff Berg so that he can explain the goals for the Constructive Agility System.
Thanks, Lauren. Lauren's an AI avatar, but she's so real-looking, I feel compelled to say thanks. Things are changing. It seems like every day AI can be used for more things. And, that's a little scary, but it's our reality. Business today is changing at an incredible pace. Strategies you made 3 years ago are probably not optimal today. Today, you're probably preoccupied with adding AI to your products and managing economic uncertainty and the geopolitical changes that are happening in the world. Or if this remote work thing is here to stay, or what it might look like in a year or 2 years, or let alone 5 years. None of us really know. In fact, the only constant today that we can count on is change, substantial change, not little change, not incremental change. Very often, increasingly, tectonic change, change that completely changes the game. That's our new reality, and there's no going back. We have to accept it, whether we like it or not. I'm not sure I like it, but it is the reality. None of us, at least individually, can change the rapid pace of change. And what does that mean in a business context? In terms of your business, your organization, it means that the key strategic enabler is agility. And I'm not talking about agile methods. We've all invested a lot in that set of ideas, and some things have helped, but by and large, it has not led to agility in large organizations. The ideas aren't quite right. Real ideas about agility come from research about human behavior and leadership and how people think and communicate, and there's a huge amount of research in those things. But in order to create that in your organization, those behaviors, it takes proactive action by leaders. And I'm not just talking about the people at the very top. I'm talking about everybody who's in a leadership role throughout the organization at all levels, beginning at the top. Because people at different levels don't just implement, they translate. You want them to translate. You don't want them to just execute. Because if they just execute, they are just taking orders. They're going through the motions. They're not thinking. They're not applying the intent of the strategy, and they won't get it right. And they also will hesitate. They will wait until they're sure exactly what the order is. What you want is for them to internalize the intent of strategy and then translate that to their context, because every context throughout the organization is unique. Every situation is different. and you want people to be thinking for themselves with always remembering key strategies, but applying the intent to their situations and creating unique local strategies that represent in powerful ways the intent of the larger strategies. And so rapid, effective change in organizations is not about following commands. It's about hearing the intent, but then being generative, thinking for yourself at all levels of the organization, particularly among leaders. You want leaders to set goals and strategies, but not state specifics. The people in place, in position at different parts of the organization need to decide on the specifics. They need to come up with their own ideas on the fly. They need to create their own local strategies. And so they need to be people who feel empowered to think for themselves and to be creative and innovative and try things, even if what they try might not work, but within a safe boundary, within a prudent context. But how do you get people to behave that way? You know, we hear about psychological safety, but it's really not about creating safety. It's about creating a culture in which people feel that they're expected to try things in a safe way before they're sure, not try and dot all the I's ahead of time, but to experiment. You want to change how people behave. It's not about following a process. It's about changing behavior. And we have developed a system to teach people how to do that. And it sounds simple, but it's not, because it's about how people in leadership roles can lead others and how they can facilitate discussions and generate discussion and generate the creation of ideas. And to be able to do that, you have to understand how other people think and communicate. And people vary a lot. So there's a lot of learning about behavior and about decision-making that people have to apply, learn and apply in their own way. And that's a very substantial learning journey. The system we've created is training per se, but it's also developmental in that it actually requires people to go through these experiences in role play sessions to actually try out these ideas for themselves and then reflect on that and learn. And it also includes a measurement system so that you can see over time the progress, the behavioral changes that you are developing within the organization. And so you can actually see the trend of increasing actual agility. Actual agility. It's inarguable proof that behaviors are changing to create actual agility within your organization. That's what we need. We need tangible, demonstrable, concrete progress over time to show that you actually are being successful in trying to make people more generative and more agile and make better decisions.
Thanks for watching. We wish you the best in your journey of adapting to change.